Let's go live now to Mildura in Victoria. The Nationals member for Mallee, Anne Webster, joins me. Thanks so much for your time. We've heard a lot about the border communities around Albury, Wodonga, but not a lot in your part of the world in Western Victoria. How have those border closures affected your community?
Thanks, Kieran. The border closures have had a significant impact on our communities, and I would go so far as to say that the South Australian further lockdowns are due to come in force on the 21st, creating a serious crisis. We have people down in my electorate who literally feel abandoned by Australia. They're the words that have come to me, that they feel South Australia doesn't want them and Victoria doesn't care. This is an indictment on us as Australians, that these people in regional communities and remote communities should feel this way. Their concerns, their businesses, their families, their medical needs, even down now to being able to get fuel and shopping across the border, which is 27 kilometres, for example, in Murrayville, they're now being told to turn around and go to Oyen, 110 kilometres away one way, to get fuel or to get some shopping needs. It's a terrible situation.
And give us an update on what the COVID-19 situation is in these communities of your electorate. Are there any cases?
Well, this is the issue, isn't it? Mallee, for those who don't know, is northwest and west Victoria. We're a third, my electorate is a third of Victoria. We have a total of 13 active cases at the moment, one which looks as though it's actually in Melbourne recovering. So we've had 11 to 16 cases over the last 4 months at any one time. For 82,000 square kilometres, that's hardly anything. You could scarcely say that there is a curve here that needs to be flattened. And Kieran, the point I think that is incredibly important here is that there seems to be some confusion around prevention and protection, which has become let's restrict and lock down. Our protection and our prevention mechanisms are around hand hygiene, they're around social distancing and masks now. The management of any COVID outbreak, of course, is trace, test, isolate. And then we have restrictions or lockdowns, which were purely designed, the strategic purpose is to flatten the curve. There is no curve to flatten. And yet our communities are isolated from one another in cross-border communities. It really is a very serious situation.
And what are some of the economic implications for industries in your area around Mildura, Horsham, some of the big centres of your part of Victoria?
Look, we have so many people contacting our office at the moment talking about their business, which they operate both sides of the border. Many people do that. Who are now not allowed to go across the border. If they want to go across the border to their business, if it's outside the zone, then they need to get themselves to Melbourne and then fly to Sydney, do 2 weeks quarantine. Obviously, I'm talking about New South Wales. 2 weeks quarantine in a Sydney hotel at their own expense, hire a car, and then drive down to their farm, which is, an hour away from here. They are ridiculous measures. Then we've got people on the Murrayville side the businesses in South Australia rely on 40% of their income from Victoria, but they're not allowed to have those Victorian consumers go across to their shops. And I think even more worrying are the outcomes for our health, the community. I have so many people who have serious issues. For example, Marcia, who has kidney cancer, who normally has her treatment down in Adelaide, now closed off, cannot do it. She is in limbo. We have a young mother, Shaylee, who has a 7-year-old child who had a heart transplant 5 years ago, relies on immunosuppressants and seeing a cardiologist specialist in Adelaide, who's 3 hours away, now being told she can't do that. She won't be able to get her medical supplies. I mean, this is outrageous.
Yeah, it certainly sounds it, and that some exemptions aren't made, particularly for those health concerns. It's crazy. But Anne Webster, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Member for Mallee, joining us live from Mildura. Thank you.